There's been a lot of talk currently about certain players that the Buccaneers might want to go for, such as cornerbacks, maybe re-signing Brent Grimes, defensive ends, such as getting Ezekiel Ansah, maybe drafting Bradley Chubb, maybe drafting Minkah Fitzpatrick. There's a lot of avenues that the Bucs can go for, drafting a guard, signing people in free agency, but two names that have been popping up recently, among others, are former Buccaneers Michael Bennett and former Buccaneers aqib Talib. Now, currently, both of these two are still under contract for the current year, but there's been some rumors floating around that aqib Talib might get released. Maybe, I don't know if that one's as true, but aqib Talib might be not with the Broncos next season, and Michael Bennett might not be with the Seahawks next season. Michael Bennett has even publicly stated that he feels that he more than likely won't be with the Seahawks next year either. So a lot of Bucs fans have currently been stating their claims to their wants, I guess you could say, to have Michael Bennett come back to the team, have aqib Talib come back to the team, have guys like LeGarrette Blount come back to the team, basically right our wrongs, so to speak, and get these players back. Now, is this the right thing to do? If these players are released, should the Bucs go after them? What are we looking at here? You know, what situation is what are we looking at here? So let's start off with the first guy. Let's start off with the easy one, more or less. aqib Talib. Now, this one's actually not that hard. aqib Talib was actually, he's 31 right now. He's 31. He's gone to the Denver Broncos, won some good games. He's 6 foot tall, still plays very aggressively, still gets his fair share of penalties. Let's keep that one in mind. But bottom line, he'd be helpful at the secondary. Obviously, we've been able to see with Brent Grimes that cornerbacks can play above the age of 30 and still perform at a decently high level, or still perform at a very good level. So bringing back aqib Talib actually isn't that far-fetched, especially if the rumors that Brent Grimes is retiring are true, which that was reported by, I believe it was Joe Bucs fan said that. I don't know if that's true, but he said Miko Grimes told him that Brent Grimes was retiring. We don't know yet. We won't know until anything's official. But if Brent Grimes does decide to retire, or he decides not to re-sign with the team, and the Broncos do decide to move on from aqib Talib, definitely look for the Bucs to maybe make a move. I know that, yes, obviously, cornerback, we don't necessarily have the best situation right now, because if Brent Grimes leaves, our best guy is Vernon Hargreaves, and yes, he's very up and down, but we need more. Obviously, that's not enough. After Vernon Hargreaves, who do you have? You have Ryan Smith, you have Robert McClain, you have Javian Elliott. That's not enough. You need another cornerback there, at least one more. You know, I'm thinking the Bucs should maybe sign two, and still draft one. You know, we really need to retool this cornerback room, so to speak. If it was me, I'd probably keep Hargreaves, keep Grimes, and flush out everybody else. You know, start over with our depth, but that's just me. Maybe keep Robert McClain. I'd probably keep Robert McClain, to be honest. But really, I wouldn't be that opposed to having aqib Talib back. I still think that he could still perform at a pretty decent level, in my opinion. And yeah, I think he'd be a good asset to have. At worst, he'd be our #2 corner. Now, he would be commanding very high money, as expected, if he were to not be a part of the Broncos anymore. But I feel that the Bucs could obviously pay that money. They have a very good amount of cap room. They'd have even more cap room if they cut players that they didn't want to save some room. Doug Martin, maybe a William Golston in there, a couple of others. I'm pretty sure that they'd keep William Golston. But I really do feel, if they can, and he's on the market, then sure, make a run at aqib Talib. You know, there are better options out there, though, and that's not necessarily, if we can go for a better option like a Trumaine Johnson, or another one, then go for that. But aqib Talib would probably still be one of the top options anyway. But I feel if Trumaine Johnson's out there, do you make a run at Trumaine Johnson, or do you make a run at aqib Talib? I would say Trumaine Johnson, but it's probably more likely that Trumaine Johnson's actually might not even make it to the market anyway. So I would still say aqib Talib is probably one of the better options out there, especially if you can't get Brent Grimes back. If you can't get Grimes back, then yeah, go for Talib. Now, Michael Bennett's a whole nother situation to me. Aside from all the personal issues that Michael Bennett's had with whatever situations that he's been a part of, the distractions, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it, all the off-field issues aside with police officers and situations of that nature, I'm not going to get into that. Let's look at Michael Bennett, the player. Now, Michael Bennett currently is 32. He's pretty old, and it's it's an interesting situation, isn't it? He's 32. He's past his prime. Let's be honest. He's past his prime. We're not. If we got these two guys back, we wouldn't be getting prime Aqib Talib, and we wouldn't be getting prime Michael Bennett. But I feel that we'd be getting a better deal and getting Aqib Talib over Michael Bennett. You know, a lot of people I feel are thinking, including even Gerald McCoy has expressed on Twitter his desire to get Aqib Talib and Michael Bennett back. But I really don't think it would be as good as Bucs fans feel it is. Yes, we would be getting edge rush help, but it's a 32-year-old, you know? I feel a lot. Somebody said in a Facebook comment I saw on the Stick Carriers Facebook page, somebody was saying it's going to be like another Robert Ayers situation where we just get a very aging veteran who's past his prime, and I kind of tend to agree to that. I don't necessarily, I mean, Michael Bennett's cool. I used to like Michael Bennett a lot. Well, I didn't used to like Michael Bennett a lot. I used to hate Michael Bennett, and then I liked Michael Bennett, and now I'm kind of back to, whatever Michael Bennett, you know, because he's 32. We don't, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, yes, he would help out the pass rush, I feel like. He would be the best pass rush on the team probably immediately. In fact, immediately. He'd be the best pass rusher on the with the current pass rushers we have. He'd be the best guy immediately. But in my opinion, and if this person does make it to the market, then I would say specifically over him. I'm more of a Ziggy Ansah type guy, Ezekiel Ansah. And it seems more likely that he is going to go to the market. So if he does go to the market, I would definitely be more over signing Ezekiel Ansah, who's still in his mid to late 20s, over signing a 32-year-old Michael Bennett, who is getting up there in age, and we might only have him for 1 year, you know. He's not going to be like a franchise-changing defensive end, you know. He's not going to stay. He might even stay for one more season maximum. So I really don't see the point in the move of making Michael Bennett a guy, you know. We want to bring in guys who are going to be here and who are going to be at least somewhat consistent for a few years, not just maybe 1 year and then he retires. It'd be great, you know, Gerald McCoy would be happy, and I love Gerald McCoy when he's happy. I want him to be happy all the time. But cornerback, Aqib Talib would make more sense than Michael Bennett, in my opinion. You could go out there and maybe sign a Tremaine Johnson, maybe sign a Ezekiel Ansah. If you can't get either of those guys, I feel like there are still going to be better options out there. I can't think of them off the top of my head, considering it's 2:30 in the morning. But I really feel like Aqib Talib would be more beneficial to this team in old age than Michael Bennett would be. Yes, Aqib Talib's 30 or 30. Yeah, Aqib Talib's 30 and Michael Bennett's 32. There's only a 2-year difference there, but I still feel like Aqib would still be playing at a high level, whereas Michael Bennett probably, in my opinion, he probably wouldn't be playing at that much of a high level anymore. Just my opinion. I don't know. It's very rare that I disagree with like the general fan base, but I feel that we really don't. We do need pass rusher. We do need pass rusher, but I feel that that guy shouldn't be Michael Bennett because he's just past his prime, and we can probably get younger guys who can probably perform better than him. You know, we might even be able to draft a Bradley Chubb. And then just for a bonus one here, let's just throw in LeGarrette Blount. Same thing. Dudes, I mean, like, he's still somewhat productive as like a goal line running back, and if we can get him for that type of money, then yes, bring him in. But I feel like he'd want to be like a 2 to 3 down type of back. He'd want to get paid as such, and we shouldn't do that. He's also, this year, he's shown to be a little bit, he's slowing down a little bit. Last year with the Patriots, he was pretty freaking good, but this year with the Eagles, he's shown to be he's lost a step in my opinion. Yes, he still has that power to a certain degree, but you can tell that he's kind of not as explosive as he used to be, and it's only going to get worse in my opinion. So I'm not really for LeGarrette Blount, I'm not really for Michael Bennett, and I would be okay with Aqib Talib. But if I had to rank him, I'd say like Aqib Talib I would want back the most, then Blount, and then Bennett. But that's just me. If it was just me, if I was the general manager, I'd probably just take Aqib Talib and I'd let Michael Bennett and LeGarrette Blount go do their own things. This is assuming that they all get cut from their rosters, by the way, or they don't re-sign with the team. We don't know. We're just talking about a hypothetical here that fans have been talking about lately. But what do you guys think about the whole Michael Bennett, Aqib Talib, LeGarrette Blount situation? Do you guys want to see more of them? Do you guys want to see them back on the team? Do you want to see what other players you want to see back on the team? Maybe like a Mark Barron. Mark Barron's not coming back, by the way. Maybe like a Mark Barron, maybe like a wide receiver, offensive lineman, defensive lineman. There's a lot of defensive linemen we've gotten rid of in the past. Defensive backs. You know, what players do you want to see who could hypothetically come back to the Buccaneers in, you know, in a non-crazy scenario? What former Bucs players do you want to see come back to the team? Let me know. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions, and I'd love to hear you sound off about the whole aqib, talib, Michael Bennett, LeGarrette Blount situation. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. But until then, goodbye for now, guys.